Question 8. The diagram shows a pentagon. It says each side of the pentagon is the same length. Is the shape a regular pentagon? Circle yes or no. Well, this question all boils down to our understanding of this word regular. For a shape to be regular, it must have all equal sides, and it must also have all equal angles. And if both of those conditions are not met, then it can't be regular. Now, we are already told that each side of this pentagon is the same length, so we know that this condition of all equal sides is being met. But the question is, are all the angles equal? Well, although it says not drawn accurately here, what we've got to assume by that is if we actually measured this, it wouldn't actually be 150 degrees. But what we have got to assume is that it's meant to be 150 degrees, and these are meant to be right angles, even if when we measured them, they wouldn't be that. So, are all the angles equal? Well, these two angles are 150. These two are marked by squares, which means these two must be 90. So straight away we've shown that they're not all equal angles. And also, this angle is obviously acute. So we've got an acute angle less than 90, two angles which are 90, and two angles which are 150. So all the angles are not equal. So this condition has not been met. If both conditions haven't been met, then the shape cannot be regular. So our answer is no. And all we've got to do in our explanation is to say something along these lines. For it to be regular, comma, all angles and sides must be equal. The angles are not equal because some are 90 degrees and others are 150 degrees. So it is not regular. And that is a highly detailed answer for the first part of the question. For the second part of the question, let's scroll down and see what we've got to do. It says, work out the size of angle A. Show your working. Well, if we go back to the diagram, let's just clear this up a bit so we don't confuse ourselves. We've got to work out the size of angle A. Now, what we can't do is measure it with a protractor because it does say not drawn accurately, so we can't measure it. Okay, we've got to use our angle facts instead. Now we know that these two angles here are 150, but if we join this corner to this corner, we are actually making some more right angles. And as we know, right angles are 90 degrees. But if the total angle here is 150, if we take the 90 degrees off, 150 take away 90 degrees, 0 take 0 is 0, 5 take 9 we can't do, 15 take away 9 is 6, and 0 take away nothing here is 6. So if we take this 90 degree right angle off of 150, which is this bit, we will find that this angle here is 60 degrees. And it would be exactly the same on the other side. This angle here would be 60 degrees. Now what we've actually got now is a triangle on top. It's almost like the roof of a house. And we know that the two angles in the corners are both 60s. What do we know about a triangle? Well, the total angles in a triangle must add up to 180. So if we add these two 60s together, 60 add 60 equals 120. What must the third angle be to get up to 180? Well, if you do 180 take away 120, whatever's left will be this third angle up here. 180 take away 120 is 60 again. So this angle at the top must be 60 degrees. And that is your final answer. Angle A is 60 degrees. Now, as for an explanation, how are we going to explain this? Well, we could say that split the shape into a square and a triangle. And then we're going to show how we've worked out the angles in the corner of the triangles. So each angle in the triangle is 60 because 150 minus 90 equals 60. And all we're doing there is we're talking about this 150. We're talking about this 150 here. Take away this 90 right angle that we're filling in here. So 150 take away 90 gives us 60. And then it's worthwhile saying that 3 lots of 60, 3 times 60 equals 180, which is the total of any triangle. And there's your explanation. We've split the shape into a square and a triangle. We've found that these two angles at the bottom here are 60, but if these two are 60, that makes 120, so the top one must be 60 as well to make it up to 180. Because as we're saying here, 180 is the total of any triangle. So there's your two answers. Just try to think clearly and get your ideas down as efficiently as you can.